Let's talk about the writing process. We've mentioned before about brainstorming. So I have brainstormed several words and phrases that came to my mind about banking services. All right, those words and phrases just totally randomly. I have overdraft, electronic bill pay, online banking, checking, debit card, savings, loans, investments, CDs, interest, APR, checkbook, register, bank statement, reconciling, safety deposit box, refinance, ATM, deposit slip, car loan, mortgage, home improvement loan, line of credit, credit building card, college loan, small business loan, money market account, personal loan. Those are all the things I could just think about. I brainstormed off the top of my head. So let's say that we were going to be doing a report or some sort of research paper on banking services. So as all things, you just want to brainstorm. There's no such thing as a bad idea. We just brainstorm. Now, what we did before is we took all of this and we put it in an outline. And certainly we do want to use an outline because an outline is the bones of our paper. However, this list is pretty long. And there's a tool we can use called a graphic organizer. So a graphic organizer will allow us to not only organize this list of just randomly occurring words, but will also let us show a relationship between them, okay? So there are many different types of graphic organizers. I'm just going to share with you my favorite. My personal favorite graphic organizer, the one I use all the time, and I use it all the time, is called the spider web. All right, so the spider web. And so we're gonna draw a spider web. We're gonna take all of these terms that I came up with brainstorming, and we're gonna put them into an organized fashion. And with the spider web, we will be able to show the relationship of these things one to another. And we start with the topic of my paper, and the topic of my paper is banking services. So I put the topic of my paper dead center, right in the middle, and I'm going to try and look at some of these things and see if I can't come up with topics. Okay, so certainly loans would be a topic. So I'm just gonna stick with the red. Hold on for a minute. Get me a couple of colors here. So my main topics, and I'm a color guy, so I will stick with loans. So that'll be one branch off of my banking services. I can go with checking. That's a huge So that's a checking account. We can do, investments. And loans is huge. Loans is huge. Investments, checking. We certainly got a savings account here. We've got online services. So, online banking. All right. So there are just some basic categories I've created here. Now what we're going to try and do is fill in some words. Put these words in the spider's web. All right. So we'll just randomly pick one. So let's see, investments. I can go ahead and put a CD. So a CD is a type of investment vehicle. I don't know if we can get any more investments. And certainly there are investment services at banks, and I didn't even list a lot of those on here. but you know, we can come back to that. All right. Online banking. Let's go ahead and we can put electronic bill pay. That's definitely part of electronic banking. Your bank statement is available online. Boom. Get rid of that one. You can certainly apply for loans and all that stuff online. We'll come back to that. Let's try loans. We've got tons of loans. So we've got car loans. We have mortgages. All right. And we're starting to get into this area here, so I might just erase this, get that out of here. So mortgage, we've got personal loans. Okay, and those personal loans, we can break those off into, you know, like home improvement. Actually, let's use different colors we go on down here. All right, so we'll go home improvement. Okay, so we've got a regular personal loan, we've got a home improvement loan, a line of credit. That is definitely for a personal loan. Let's see, we can knock off some of these. We get home improvement loan, line of credit. There's another service I didn't think about. And I will put it down here. Credit card. That's huge. So credit cards is another service that banks provide. And so we've got all kinds of, we've got a credit building card. And you know, you've got rewards cards, you got cash, you know, all that crazy stuff. All right, so back here with loans, we can put college loan. All right. Small business, that's almost its own little category. So I might put that up here. Give that another branch down there. Checking account, let's see what we got here. Okay, so for checking account, we've got a debit card. Okay, so a debit card allows you to access both your checking and your savings account. We could probably actually include that down here with a savings account. You know, there's nothing wrong with putting the same thing twice. It kind of crosses over. All right, so let's see, with checking account, we have overdraft. We've got checkbook. We have a register. We have reconciling our checking account. So, bam. Checkbook register. Boom. Let's see. With loans, that's a huge thing. So we have interest. Okay. And with the interest, we have APR. Now things are getting a little squished here, but you know, if you did it on a regular piece of paper, you'd be able to spread things out a little more than I can with trying to do it all here. Let's see, mortgage. We might have refinance. Okay, so I'll get rid of boom. Get rid of boom. We've got rid of this one. We've got rid of that one. We've got this, 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 this. ATM. I think we got rid of ATM. And we can certainly, for both of these things, do a deposit slip. And that kind of goes for both of them. So another banking service that I had up here was a safety deposit box. Boom. All right. It looks like I have used all of the words. And that looks like a hot mess. But, again, if you did this on a piece of paper and it was spread out, it's not a hot mess because we can see the relationship. So if I go from banking into loans, well, the interest is a huge thing about loans because, you know, they're not going to loan you the money for free. There's always interest. So, you know, it's based on the APR, and certain types of loans have different interest rates. So you might have to, you know, look into that. You could certainly, you know, on a car loan, you've got a new car versus a used or a, you know, so boom, those could be things we put out there. Small business, if you're trying to go in business for yourself, trying to be the entrepreneur, you know, there's stuff involved with that. Mortgage, is it a new home? Are you going to have the home built? That's a whole different thing. Maybe you have a mortgage and you want to refinance, you know, that goes into the mortgage thing. Personal loans, you got home improvement loans for the whole purpose of, boom, I want to make an addition to my home. College, maybe do some college loans for your kids or for yourself. A line of credit. So usually a line of credit is involved with building projects where you're not exactly sure how much money you're going to need, but you want to be able to borrow money and pay it back and borrow some money. Actually, credit card. Credit card is an example of a line of credit. And, you know, certainly when you get into credit cards, there's a whole thing about, you know, there's the interest rate on credit cards. There's the grace period on credit cards. There's, you know, getting money on credit cards and just, you know, all of that stuff. So certainly there's ways we can branch out with there. Checking account, again, you can see this whole kind of thing. You could, you know, you could actually break reconciliation down and then put the different, you know, I take my checkbook register and I take my bank statement and I reconcile it and I make sure that everything's good to go. Anyway, the whole point of this is not about banking services. The whole point of this is about graphic organizers. And graphic organizers are a tool to help you organize your thoughts as you're going to write something. So now I could take this graphic organizer and I can now build an outline. And my main points here would be the main headings in my outline. And then, you know, the whole A, B, C's and the 1, 2, 3s, that's all this little stuff around this. Now, if we're doing a research project, now certainly this will allow me to target where I want to research. Because if you have to have, you know, 5 references, and maybe one has to be a book, and maybe a couple have to be, you know, from WebEBSCOhost, where you've got peer-reviewed articles, maybe only one could be from online. You start getting into all that. That's a lot of material to read through. But what you're trying to do is you're specifically trying to glean bits and pieces from all these different areas. Well, again, having an idea where to look and what to look for your research project will save you lots of time, save you lots of headache and heartache. And, you know, if you don't like reading, cut down on the reading time. Anyway, graphic organizers. I hope you get something out of this. I use this all the time. Most of the time when I use it is when I'm getting ready to do a test review. So I have my kids. We've covered everything on the test. We've talked about all these things in several classes, and now it's time to do the test. So I actually have them create a graphic organizer as we go along. So not only are they studying for the test, but they're also seeing the relationship between all of these different terms, because having a list of terms does not show you the relationship between them. And that's one thing that graphic organizers can do. Enjoy.